And finally, new rule, instead of putting a Bible in hotel rooms, we should start putting a dictionary in there. Because apparently nobody knows what words mean anymore. George Carlin famously had the 7 words you can't say on TV. Well, here's my 8 words people need to stop redefining: hate, victim, hero, shame, violence, survivor, phobic, and white supremacy. Comedian Hannah Gadsby characterized Dave Chappelle's controversial Netflix special as hate speech dog whistling. Well, dog whistle refers to when someone puts things in code because they're afraid to come out and say what they really think. That's what you get from Dave Chappelle? He's afraid to say what he really thinks? And it's not hate speech just because you disagree with it, nor is it phobic. Phobic comes from the Greek word for something one fears irrationally, like spiders or germs, but now is used as a suffix for anything you just don't like. I've been called commitment phobic. No, I don't fear commitment, I just don't want it. Other people do. Great. I don't call them single phobic. I don't like bowling. I'm not bowling phobic. And if I talk about how wrong I think it is to force women to wear a beekeeper suit all day, that's not being Islamophobic. I just don't like it. And I bet they don't either. I went as a ghost for Halloween once. I lasted about 20 minutes. Also in the category of we just don't like it, so we're pretending it's something else, is the word violence. Last year, there was a staff mutiny at the CBS drama All Rise when some of the writers, I'm sorry, I meant victims, took issue with a scene where 2 women are in an elevator and a naked man gets on, and they just continue talking calmly. And if you think that's offensive, you should see how the guy pushed the button. But the writers on this show found the scene objectionable and sent off an email saying 2 women would not calmly continue a conversation with a naked white guy running into the elevator. That is violence. No, it's not. Violence is when it hurts. It usually involves leaving a mark of some kind. Of course, innumerable things can lead to violence, but I'm sorry, you can't take that word and use it for stuff that's just scary to you or just verbal, which is something I literally learned in kindergarten. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but if you don't know how that one ends, you need to repeat kindergarten. Social justice warriors who are fond of governing by hashtag like to say silence is violence. And we know that because it rhymes? The words victim and survivor have traveled a long way from their original usage. The baby from the Nirvana album says he's a victim. He's suing Nirvana for lifelong damages. I never thought I'd have to say this to a baby, but stop being such a fucking baby. You're not a victim. There's no reason you can't have a normal, happy life just because people look at you and think baby penis. It didn't hurt Trump. In 2010, the New York Times used the term white supremacist on 75 occasions. Last year, over 700 times. Now, some of that, to be sure, is because Trump came along and emboldened the faction of this country that is truly white supremacist. It is, of course, still a real thing. But it shouldn't apply to something like, as more than a few have suggested, getting rid of the SAT test. Now, if we find the SAT test is slanted in such a way as to stack the deck in favor of Caucasians, if there are questions like, Biff and Chip are sailing a yacht, traveling at 12 knots to an Ed Sheeran concert on Catalina. If Catalina is 26 miles away, how many White Claws should they bring? Yes, then maybe, yes. But of course, the SAT doesn't have questions like that, so it becomes the kind of ludicrous exaggeration that makes lovers of common sense roll their eyes and then vote for Trump. Now, are there snowflakes on the right? Of course. There's no whinier little bitch than Trump himself. But this kind of stuff does tend to stick to the left a lot more. Have you ever heard a parent call their child their hero? What party are they probably in? My kid is my hero. Why? He's 6. Did he pull someone out of a burning building? My hero. Look at the way he shares his Ritalin. You do realize how stupid it sounds to imply you want to grow up to be your kid? During the pandemic, everyone was a hero. Now, for sure, frontline medical workers really were and are. But then it spread to civil servants, and then anyone who just went to work. Postal employees, Amazon stockers. One day I found myself saying to the guy collecting carts at Ralph's, "Thank you for your service." And then there's shaming. That definition has been rewritten to mean anything that suggests I'm not 100% perfect. I'm not fat-shaming when I call bullshit on the idea that a person can be healthy at any size. We're so through the looking glass on this that Weight Watchers changed their name to WW. The weight loss people can't mention weight loss. Adele was shamed for losing weight, like she was a traitor to, what, unhealthiness? When I have reported the statistic that 78% of the people who died or were hospitalized with COVID were overweight, that's not fat-shaming, that's fat-splaining. It's what the CDC should be doing. And this is the essence of why word inflation is a problem. You can try to change reality by changing the words, but you can't. It just stops you from dealing with it. One of the bad guys in 1984 says, the whole aim of newspeak is to narrow the range of thought. Yes, it's Orwellian. And you know what they say, Orwell never ends well.